7:01, we're going to call the regular meeting to order. Requirements of the Sunshine Law have been met. This meeting was advertised in Burlington County Times on January 10, 2022, and electronic notice was given to the NJAC 5:39-1.5. We will now do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have a moment of silence. Roll call.
Committeewoman Berkeley.
Present.
Committeeman Carr.
Present.
Committeewoman Mungo.
Present.
Mayor Henley.
Present.
Committeewoman Wright.
Present.
Approval of minutes, September the 6th, 2022. Regular meeting minutes and executive session minutes. Do we have a roll call? Do we have a motion?
Mungo motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mayor, I have a discussion.
Sure.
I think we need. Starting about 2 years ago when administrative came, we changed how we did the minutes. I guess it was after Marion stopped being clerk. We used to put down the minutes and who voted. So instead of like 3-1-1, it was 3 people voted this person said voted no, and this person abstained. I would like to see that come back again. I went back to the minutes, and there was something where 3 people voted yes, 1 voted no, and 1 abstained, and I couldn't remember who that was. I asked Wendy, and Wendy said it wasn't needed. She disagreed with me. It really wasn't done, she said. But she said I could bring it up to you and ask and poll the board to see if they would like to have that returned. So we have names on the minutes of how people voted, or we want to continue doing it the same. So I request that you poll the board.
Does anybody care if we add that to the meeting minutes?
I don't mind.
Yeah, nobody cares. That's fine. That's fine.
Excuse me?
Nobody minds. That's fine.
Okay, we shall do that. I'll let her know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We're going to open the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Do we have anyone with public comment? So we will close public comment. All in favor?
All right.
All right.
Monthly reports, Police Department, Fire EMS, Public Works, Construction, and Tax Collection. Resolutions. 140-22, payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through 9/20/2022. Do we have a motion?
Mungo motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Berkeley.
Samantha, I'm going to vote no because I believe there's things in here that are against the contract spending. And I talked to Wendy, but she's not available this week, so I'm voting no.
Okay. Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-1-0.
Consent agenda resolutions. Note, consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds, and items requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. Does anyone have anything they'd like to remove?
No.
No, sir.
Would someone like to make a motion?
So moved, Berkeley.
Second.
Roll call.
Berkeley.
Yes.
Carr.
Yes.
Mungo.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
OPM mailbox and correspondence, there are none. I'd like to open the meeting for public comment. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Do we have anyone that would like to make a public comment?
Yeah. Terrence Brown, Live Country.
Yep.
Someone has gotten cheated at the lights on.
Oh. Listen, depending on how strong that battery is, that public comment is important.
Did we take care of it?
Yes. Not me. No, I wanted to check, see if I had my keys. Someone could steal that car, though, maybe you should check on it.
Like an SUV Kia, I think.
It is?
Yeah.
Is it a silver
Yeah, it's parked like right in the front. Yeah.
Chief?
No,
Thank you.
hold
He
on.
can take care of it for you.
Yeah, it's in
Done.
the, take that out there.
Give him your keys.
I think for once it's working, I think I heard you.
It's her car.
Yeah, Terrence Brown, 9 Pine Street Drive, West Hampton. We got a couple of comments. Number one, the sound alarm is still not working. Look at the minutes on the website, the video has no sound for the past 2 weeks. So when I was trying to see video, but there's no sound on past meetings. So, you know, we people ask about getting the sound, rectified so people who have disabilities to be able to hear and we can follow the meetings.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
So the last couple of ones that we've uploaded, for some reason, YouTube is muting us, basically. So we had a email out to someone through YouTube. Because are you watching it through the YouTube link? Yeah. Because when we put it in on our end, we can hear everything, but then once you play it off of YouTube, for some reason, it's not showing any audio. So we're in the process of trying to get it resolved.
So is there a local video that we could, maybe post to the website? People could-
I can bring it up to Wendy and see if it's possible. Yeah.
Second, thing I asked about, is there any update? I was searching the council website trying to figure out any minutes on the environmental committee. And so I wanted to see if we could get any update on that, or we can find, like, hey, when the last time they met, who was on that committee, so we can follow up with them about that meeting. Third is the master plan. I'm trying to get an update, see how far we'll progress with that, and if there's any more insight that you can give us.
You know what, who did I talk to today? Oh, I talked to someone on that on the committee for the master plan. Actually, I talked to Bob Thorpe extensively today, and he was saying that it's almost complete, and he was just giving me some feedback on that. So my understanding is that it's almost complete, and from his tone, I think he's happy with what it looks like and what they've done. But I know that him, Odie, they've put in a lot of work with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. But good questions, Mr. Brown. Do we have anyone else who has a public comment? Okay. Close public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Dates to remember. Next scheduled meeting is October the 4th, 2022, at 7 p.m. Fire Prevention Week, open house, October 13th at 6 p.m. at the West Hampton Firehouse. Trunk or treat is to be announced. Do we have any committee liaison reports or comments from the township committee members?
Yes, I do. Talking about committees, one of my committee is the school committee, and I was very happy on Monday. The school board, West Hampton School Board hired Mr. Jim Donato as our new superintendent, and he has 2 master's degrees, one in administration, one in special ed. He was the Mount Holly superintendent, and so we had people that commented on the post that they had worked under him and thought he was absolutely marvelous. So that was good. And the last couple of years, he's worked in Trenton at Human Services because purposely he wanted to go there to learn how to be a better management in human services. And he resigned from that in June to start looking for a superintendent job. He was hired to be starting on October 1st, and he's already been meeting with the staff. So I'm thrilled that he's coming. Land development, I know there was supposed to be a meeting tonight, but it got canceled because the advertisement was not done correctly or something. I hope that in the future we can have some kind of calendar, that we would not have a land development meeting the same night as a township committee meeting. I mean, we have 2 people on the township committee there, so on land development. So I'm kind of glad that that got canceled so they can be here. I realized that there was something on social medias about restaurants, and people noticed that there's basically no other restaurants in West Hampton except maybe one that are non-chain and non-fast food. And they would like to have regular restaurants coming here, a nicer restaurant, like, oh gee, I can't, my brain is fuzzled now. But like the ones in Mount Holly. And going along with that, restaurants is food trucks. And I was looking in the ordinance on food trucks. It's very, very restrictive. I know Abe Lopez had a food truck, and since then we've not been able to have any food trucks except those that are a part of the West Hampton Township. I mean, there's things like you have to be 500 feet away from another property. That's almost impossible in West Hampton. And food trucks are a small business. I think that it would be good if there's a committee or someone that would look at that ordinance and do something else to help local food trucks. I mean, if you really go by the food trucks, Mr. Softy is not allowed in West Hampton. And that's a shame.
Really?
Yes.
I've seen Mr. Softy a million times.
He's at my house.
Yeah.
But he's a food truck, isn't he? He stops and he sells food from his truck. I'm just
Like
saying,
an ice cream, that's different than sandwiches.
We'll be happy.
That guy's moving ice cream cones. Y'all don't know he's moving sandwiches.
but you could have a cookie food truck, you know, you could have any kind of food truck, but it's just very restrictive. I just hope that somehow we could look into that. And so, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor, I just second what you said about the master plan review. It's very near, I guess, presented. I think we will have a meeting in the very near future, and I'll make sure we push that information out when that's set. Also, Committeewoman Berkeley, I, being a heavier guy, would welcome food establishments in West Hampton. I'm looking forward to Dickey's
We've
Barbecue
got
Pit
this.
opening on October 25th. The
Yoo-hoo.
old Wendy's location next to the old Rita's Water Ice. But again, I would also welcome these businesses here. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. Anyone else? All right. So to address the food trucks, didn't we have something with food trucks? Where were they at? Were they at the firehouse?
The complex. Yeah. And the complex.
So how did we manage to do that?
That's West Hampton sponsored.
West Hampton Tax
Right.
sponsored it. Internally, they organized and put it on.
And I know, so part of that, I remember that you guys kind of worked on in the front office, but Recreation wanted to do something. So what I would do, this is just my advice from what I've heard. If you want to sit down with Todd is the person who, because he kind of felt a little slighted when they did the food trucks. He's like, hey, wait a minute, I'm Recreation, I should be doing the food trucks. So I think at that point, that's where the ball got dropped a little bit, because they wanted to depend on Todd to do it. So what I would do is, if I were you, I'd reach out to Todd, ask him where he is with the food truck situation, see if it's something he wants to take advantage of. And if he doesn't, then I'd circle back up to the front office, because I think it was very successful and they really liked it. And I think the last time, Lee is the one who kind of pushed and owned the food truck. So again, if it's something that you're interested in doing, you can grab the bull by the horns and be able to put that in play. Because I think that Lee sat down and was able to do that.
I did ask, do the ordinance apply to XYZ? And our administrator said that the ordinances don't apply when West Hampton Township has food trucks.
Right.
But if someone else wanted to have a food truck, maybe they wanted to do it in the library parking lot on a day it's closed or something like that, that the ordinances would apply to them.
Yeah, I think you're just trying to base control over this. You know what I mean? Because
There
then
has
you
to be
got...
some kind of rules, but
Correct. Like, I think they're just trying to base control. Like, obviously, I don't think it's to prohibit our West Hampton residents from doing anything, but maybe, obviously you let your guard down and anything's like what happened, and then we're responsible. But I understand what you're saying. I think that, we just have to go through the process of being able to do it, but we have to have I would think we have to have some type of control, just because I don't know that I don't know that you're going to know what you're definitely going to get into, you know what I mean, once we get that cart down the road.
I asked because one of my neighbors wanted to have a food truck for a Sweet 16 birthday party. And they had a big backyard, but it didn't match with the ordinances, so they were not allowed to have it. So
What did they do instead?
they didn't have a food truck. That's why I said maybe we could just look at the ordinances to see.
Huh?
I consider that the same as catering.
Right, or like, what do we, well, that's not a food truck, but I wonder what we do.
They're not
Parking
looking-
it on private property, it's just for that party, so.
Yeah, I would check the Wendy and the building,
Not like they're giving us a-
they, clearly say that if you're using a food truck on private property, it has to be inspected by the fire department, and it has to run to township for clearance to have a permit. So, I mean, I have a food truck and I have been stopped like that before too, trying to do things, so there is a protocol in the.
Did you do the party?
Not into a party.
The 16 party?
I'm trying to do a catering function.
No, I'm saying you should. I heard your stuff is really good. So that's what I mean. Like, I heard your stuff is really good. I was like, did you do the party?
You sold out on some of that.
Shh, listen, I never get a call. I'm on Facebook. I like to get a message and come through.
I didn't even know you was on Facebook, man.
Yeah, you gotta look for me, man. My name is Sandy Headley. Everybody knows me. But with that being said,
Thank you, Mayor.
anytime. With that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Already? Jeez.
Well, I'm a quick reader.
You are good.
All in favor?
Yes. How's your week?
You got it.